Hi, and welcome back. I'm Mary Jo, also known as Sojo, and this is my channel where I talk about all my quilty stitchy things. Now, today is October 15th, 2023, and this is my weekly update, number 37, where I talk about everything I worked on and completed throughout the week, with a couple previous finishes along the way. Now, I've kind of gotten away from doing that lately, but it's good to bring it back. And you know, it's definitely having some fall weather, so I brought some fall-themed things along the way. So let's talk about this quilt behind me. Now, this was a previous finish that I did, and the pattern came from a shop hop I did a few years ago over in Shipshewana, Indiana, and it looks like it was 2017. And this was a free pattern that I got from one of the shops, and this was called Picnic Under the Stars, and it was from Caroline's Cottage Cottons that this pattern came from. See, there was the pattern, and then I used my own batiks to make it, and it was done in these fall colors. Now, it was quilted with this leaf pantograph, and we'll go in, take a closer look at the quilting. Now you can see some of the leaves throughout. Just bringing it down. And I'll show you the backing. And that was what I used for the backing. Now on this one, I did not put a label. So what did I work on as far as sewing and quilting this week? Well, if you've been watching my channel, you know I like to work on a lot of projects, and I usually pull a lot of things out. But this week, I kind of focused on two projects. The first one was my Awakening quilt top I've been working on, which that is completely done, and I'll hang that up and show you in a minute. And the other was this paper piecing pattern, which was Summer Solstice. And I worked on that, and I'll show you that in a minute too. But I'm still far from being done, but I got quite a bit of this done, and I'll show you that in a minute too. But let me hang up that Awakening quilt first. So this is the Awakening quilt top. There's the pattern. There it is. And this is by Stephanie Ryan from Wilmington Prints. Now, I know I've done several patterns like this from Wilmington Prints, and they always like to include this piping border in here, which I did do, and I'll show you that in a minute. So when I quilted on my long arm, I'll probably have to kind of base that piping down just for when I'm quilting and it doesn't flip over and become all funky. But we'll see. So I'll see if I can't show you a little bit closer. Now, also on this pattern, they kind of did some mitered borders right here, and I didn't want to do that. I just did some regular straight borders without the mitering. I've done it, but I just didn't feel like doing it for this one. But that's okay. A pattern's more of a suggestion than a rule anyway, so we'll take a look at it. All right, so there it is. And I'll come over here and take a look. Now right here is this piping border that you can see that flips over. So that's what I'll have to base down just so it doesn't flip over when I'm in the process of quilting it. And all of my blues come down, look at the bottom. Like I said, I'm trying to get a good picture of it. I didn't do a miter border. I just kind of did those straight borders there. But that's okay. It's my quilt, and I can do what I want. So what else did I work on this week? Well, I worked on this, like I said. Now, this is actually made in 4 different quadrants. And I had previously paper pieced all of this middle, and then I had paper pieced, well, I started paper piecing this, This are 4 little sections, and each section is broken up to a left and a right, and each of those left or right has 12 pieces in it, 12 different paper pieces, and within those pieces there's, I don't know, 4 or 5 pieces. So there's just a lot of pieces, and this took a lot of time this week. But in addition to piecing this all together, I kind of finished this whole center and this. So what I have left to do is I have to paper piece these 4 corners. Now I also sewed all of this together, so it is in 4 quadrants. And when I was, well, let me show you that. Now this is a big piece here, because this is actually 99 by 99 when it's all put together. So here's one of the quadrants. See, and there's some of the paper piecing that's still there. And this is how it's looking, and it's quite large. It's hard to get it all in here. Now what I did do is I did take all 4 of those quadrants of where I'm at so far and laid it out and took a picture, which I'll insert that picture right here. So now when I tried to put all these together to send a picture, I was like, well, I'm going to put it on the kitchen floor. However, the kitchen floor we had just cleaned up from dinner, and there was a little bit of a wet spot from water that I'd put it in. So I had to pull that, so I pulled it right up, that one piece. And I was pretty sure it was water, but I was trying to rub it with, you know, some Dawn and some water to get it out, which it was just water anyway, because now it's dried and it's fine. So when you saw that pictures, if you see that dark spot there, it's really just water. And it's all dried now. It's not there. But that's what I did. It took a long time this week to get that far. But that's okay. I think it's coming out really pretty. So, as far as the actual sewing aspect, those are the only 2 things that I sewed on, but I did cut some other things out. Let me show you. So I worked on this Nightlight Villa Rosa pattern, and this is this dinosaur. This has this dinosaur themed charm packs, and this is the binding that I cut out. But I started by making some strip sets. Yep, and we got all that dinosaur fabric in there. Of course these were charm packs, so I didn't cut those out. But I did cut the binding and the strip sets out so they're ready to be sewn together. And again, me and my pins. Most people I know will not pin strip sets together, but I do. And that's okay. Everybody should do what works for them, and this is what I like to do. Now, what else did I do? I cut out another sew sampler project. So I worked on this. Well, cutting it out anyway. And I've got all these pieces cut out, pinned together, ready to sew. So I did that. And let me put this up. Now, since I finished that awakening pattern, I had to find something to put in its place. So I went way back in my stash and I pulled out this panel. Because I want to try and start using some of these older fabrics and panels and patterns that I have too. And I have all this fabric that was put with it. So I'm going to do something with that panel and this fabric. I don't know what yet, but I'll figure it out. So that's what I'm going to start working on in place to that awakening pattern. But I have so much stuff, so much fabric, so much panels, so much pre-cuts that I need to start using them. And you know, I make a lot as it is, but I really want to start going back because I forget what I got. Okay, so that's everything that I've worked on as far as sewing and quilting. Let's move on to cross stitch. But before I tell you what I worked on, just brought this out. This is the previous cross stitch finish, the fall in the air with the fox, because it's definitely fall around here. It's very chilly here today. And I just put this on a little wood block to hang it up or sit. So let's see, where's my cross stitch? It's right here. And that is coming along. I am making progress. It should definitely be done before Christmas. Where's the pattern? There it is. So, as we know, I have been working on this Christmas Big Band sampler. And I have done all of this, and I am all the way down here on these nutcrackers. So, as you can see, I don't have that much farther to go. So, now this is worked on 16 count Aida, and it is a large piece. So much so that I had to break it up in 2 different pieces. And when I do a final finishing on that, which I have no idea what that will be, I will somehow fix it with the 2 pieces together. So, as always, here was that first piece. And we're bringing it all the way down to the bells. And that's where I stopped. Now bringing out this second piece. And rolling it. There we go. So there's the top. And it goes all the way down to there. Now last week I had just started over here, like on this nutcracker. Now I'm all the way over here working on that third one. So we are making progress, and it is getting there. So with the progress that I've been making on it, I'm estimating maybe about 5 or 6 more weeks and it'll be done. Hopefully sooner though. And then I can work on something else. All right. There's that. Now, also, moving on to crochet, I brought out my pumpkin. This was a pumpkin I had made a few years ago. And yes, that is a real stick I got from the yard that I stuck in there. There's my pumpkin that I crocheted. So, I've been working on this Curvy Girl cardigan, cabled cardigan. Now last week I had shown you I had done all the back panel and I had done the one front panel. Well, this week I finished the other front panel and I sewed the front panels onto the back panels and started working on the sleeve. Now I haven't got very far on the sleeve, but I did start working on it. Actually, I don't even think I have the sleeve in here to show you, so, but it's not that much progress. So it's just sewn together up here at the shoulders. Oops, it's not. It's backwards. Because I have to sew the sleeves in and then sew the sides together. But let's see, there's that cable coming down. So I'm gonna put this on kind of on top of this other sweater I'm wearing. So it will come down like that with those cables. And down. So that's where I am with that. And the last thing I worked on this week was I finished this small diamond painting. And there it is. Now, right before I started working this video, I just got an Amazon package. That has stuff related to sewing. So I'm going to do a separate video showing you what I got. Alright. Till next time. Bye.